Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show today. Very happy to have you here. Hopefully, everyone had themselves a good weekend. I had a nice, quiet one. I got a lot of work done, which is good. It's an absolutely stunningly beautiful day, even though there's a typhoon bearing down on us, but you wouldn't know. There was a bit of wind last night, but hopefully you guys had a nice, fun weekend. I had me some really good coconut Thai shrimp curry. It was very nice, but mostly I was working on my evil villain plans in SimCity 4. It's great. Hopefully, you guys had yourself a good time as well. We were sitting here talking about language, though, a little bit. Being an English teacher, I'm supposed to spell everything correctly. Although, when I'm doing on the keyboard, for some reason, it doesn't work all the time. Damn fingers. But you know what? You know the weird thing is, guys, that I find myself in having problems with, which is really odd. When I'm spelling, a lot of times, especially when I'm at the board, I don't know what it is because I am a philologist. I often find myself spelling words in the old way. It's a weird conundrum because it's not wrong, but it is.
It's wrong within the context.
It is, but I don't know why my brain does that, especially when I'm at the board. If I'm typing and I slow down a bit, right? Because
Mhm.
technically I can do 80 words a minute, technically, which I know isn't very impressive for you professionals out there. But for an average Joe, it's not bad. But if I slow myself back to around 50, 60, I tend not to make errors. But on the board, though, in front of the blackboard or the whiteboard, I often use the old Middle English spelling of things.
So do you put like an E on the end of axe?
I do. I
So do I.
do actually. I do. I still do that. But I even find myself like, so I've even caught myself a few times using the curled F for S, and I'm like, "What the
Oh,
hell are you
Wow.
doing?"
Okay, that absolutely proves it. Absolutely proves it. The Chester's from the past. You're a time traveler.
Well, no, I just spent too much time putting my brain into it is the problem. I would imagine, but I don't know why it is that at the board that happens. Because when I'm writing, because I still like taking pencil and paper and writing, right? Or I'm working, like I said, especially if I slow down a little bit on the keyboard. I don't have that problem. It's only when I'm standing at the board, and I don't know why that. I don't know. I don't have no clue what that is. Somebody out there who's one of those pseudoscientists that call themselves psychiatrists, work it out. Okay.
Well, you could have the opposite problem that most of us have, where basically spell check has ruined our ability to remember how to spell words half the time.
Maybe that's what it is. I spent too much
Yeah.
time in the past. But why is it only at the board though? Why is that?
um,
Traditional
are
you're
you
teaching, maybe?
nervous?
conscious of your own actions. I don't know.
Not really. I've been doing this so long. It's like second nature. I mean, you could take me and throw me in front of any group of people, tell me what the theme is, and just push the button and I go. Right.
True.
So
Greater physical action than you're used to when you're doing normal translations. It's different than like typing something in. You're actually doing more movement, so the muscle
I'm
memory maybe is
talking
different.
too. Maybe that's
Yeah.
part of it.
So
Yeah.
your mind is in a few different places.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever. It doesn't matter anyway. The kids can
Shh.
learn something.
He's an
Well, it's
alien.
kind of your job. That's at least it's what I thought.
Yeah, but when I do make it isn't all the time, but when I do make that mistake, I always twist it and make it look like I was right, and then I quickly slip into an explanation of the history of the letter.
Hmm.
Mm.
You
More
see,
history.
But then your
Hey,
students are going to start doing
enough.
it,
Just moving
and
on.
everyone's going to be confused.
yeah, that's true. That's true. But the good thing for me, the handy thing for me, is I know the history of every letter in the English alphabet and other alphabets as well. But I know the actual etymology of the letter, where it comes from, its shape progression, things like that. So I can cover my
Well,
ass pretty well. You know.
on that note, So you're
Then
the
after,
person to talk to if I ever put my own language into Hero's Call.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Go have a conversation with Tolkien, and he'll tell you how much hair he lost doing that.
Oh well, I mean, I got plenty of hair.
And he did more than one. I mean, he created what, 7 total languages, was it?
hey, let's get an AI to do the artificial language.
Yeah, let the
That
AI
would be
generate.
easier. Yeah, just put me out of work. Yeah, go ahead.
That's fine.
It'll put us all out of
Well,
work pretty
there
Dude,
soon.
has to
it is.
there has to be a master at the keyboard.
Yeah. Well, no,
And
here's
who
the
else would
thing.
be the last but you?
AI is going to put a lot of people who sit at keyboards out of work very quickly. But they're going to marry this AI to the physical form factor sooner than later, right?
Yeah.
Way sooner than we think,
Mm.
I imagine. And when that happens, well, everyone's out of work.
They're already in the early
They
stages
are.
of it, though.
I
I
know.
mean,
But I'm just saying, it's coming and it's going to come super quick because this past 6 months, 5 months, I'm sure is a shock. I don't know where the tipping point was. I'm sure there's some expert that's going to create books on it, and then they'll make movies. The AI will, about their creation. But something in the past 5 months or so has triggered a monumental shift, right? And I don't know what it is, but we're in it now, dude.
well, the past few years, I think. I mean, really, you started seeing the major speeding up of these sort of things with transformer models becoming a thing, and then it was like, a few years, and then it was, it's just orders of magnitude, if I'm going to,
Yeah, I'm
borrow
sure
something. But
it's decades in the making, but you know what I mean. The past few months has been
yeah,
it's
things have
just
been moving.
it hit something and then it just got turned on and there it goes.
True. And I mean, as you have more machines actually in operation, you're going to get more data. Um, just by virtue of them interacting with the world.
Yeah, that's what
So
did it. I mean, but there's something we're missing. Someone will tell us eventually. Elon probably will explain it to us. But the interesting thing about that, and we're going to let Puffin go here in a second, though. But
Hello.
the interesting thing about that is this: for a long time, there's a set of questions they've been asking AI to try to get it to a point where it can understand. And here's one of the questions that now you get a consistently correct answer where you never did before. It's a simple little question, right? From a human point of view. You have a cup,
Hmm.
you have a ball. You put the
Hmm.
ball in the cup. You take the cup, turn it upside down, put it on the table. You take the cup, you put it in a microwave. Where's the ball?
On the table.
That's right. That's a very easy thing for a human to work out. Even a kid could figure that out, right? It's not hard for us to perceive gravity because you're implying gravity. You're not stating it though. And the AI
Hmm.
has a hard time with things that it's not stated. But now, if you go over to the Chat GPT and some of the other more advanced ones that are coming out actually from it, um, it consistently answers that question correctly. So
well,
this is a tidal shift in AI comprehension, right?
and what's really cool too is like with the new stuff out there, you're with past programs, humans interacting with machines, you need to have like proper programming language. The machine needed to know
Everybody.
the exact position of an object,
That's right.
but
And
but with
it won't imply gravity in this case or other
but
things. We
now
humans imply things all the time.
Yeah, but now you can do it through simple language. You can simply tell a machine, and it can understand
Yeah,
based off of language and interact with the
that's
world.
right. Yeah. And
And
its
that's pretty cool.
database. It is pretty cool. And
Yeah.
and it shouldn't be too shocking to us because over the past 20 years particularly, we humans have taken a lot of our effort, including this human sitting right here and the other humans I'm talking to, by taking our wealth of knowledge and understanding and throwing it onto the internet. There are literally millions and millions and millions and millions, oh shit, there are billions of videos on how to do stuff. DIY is the easiest thing in the world for us now because there's so much wealth of knowledge thrown out. And all that knowledge is now accessible. Not only is it accessible because we have access to it too, but for a computer, because of the way they function, they're not making new ideas. But what the computer can do is look at all that information simultaneously and instantly. Woof.
Well, it can
Good
make
factor.
connections where
It can.
we
Well, it can see the
haven't
big
really
picture.
noticed
Well,
before. Yeah.
have you noticed this is something we're talking about engineers and scientists in this modern world. Your job, no matter what you do, is become very narrow-minded, narrow-viewed, and specialized. Right? I have always prided myself on being a polyglot. Excuse me, a polymath. I am a polyglot as well. But I've always prided myself on that very old-fashioned way of being because I understand the value of being the person who can see all sides. Right? We don't have that anymore. That's a luxury I have that 99.9% of all professionals do not have, and this makes us very narrow-minded because we don't know the other things. We don't communicate. But a computer can see everything at once. So you're starting to get computers being placed questions on theory and concept of new structure and new technologies. And the computers are throwing them out because they can look at everything simultaneously and see every aspect of every field that the other professionals can't. And it can simply make connections between A and G, right? Because we
To a
can't see it
degree,
to a
yeah.
high degree, dude.
Well, it's. I think it in its current form, it still has a long way to go before it's like. A lot of times, it does have problems with hallucination, which hallucination is an issue within and of itself. And I think it is improving dramatically, but I still think being able to predict language and being able to understand connections behind it are
I
is a
disagree.
difficult jump.
I
You know,
disagree. I think it's made the jump. I really
I
do.
think I think
So,
at times it'll be insightful, but it for right now I think we're not quite as far in that regard.
I think you should look a little deeper, dude. I think we're way past it, actually. I think we passed it 3 months ago.
At least the models that I've seen publicly. Maybe behind the scenes because who knows. But just from
We'll
what I've
get
seen
to it,
publicly.
Puffin, sooner or
Yeah.
later.
All right. I'll shut up. I will shut up.
23 after. Oh, no, that's the wrong one.
It's 18
Sorry.
after.
18
Yeah.
18
after.
after.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now I
It
can say
usually
things
takes us
like,
20
damn.
minutes.
yeah, it
Puffin.
usually takes 20 minutes.
Yep. You are.
would you
You
like to
have
take
the
20 minutes?
floor,
Okay.
sir. You have the floor, sir.
Hello. So, last time you had come in contact with the Lord Protector and had plans of making your own half dragon.
No, me? No, who?
That was you.
Oh, me.
Yeah, that was you.
Maybe. Are you blaming me for something?
Nah, I blame you for everything I can, I guess.
Mm,
Oh, them's
Let's
fighting
see.
words.
them are
That's
fighting
fine.
words.
I'm good at fighting, but not in games. So, let's see here. So, you find yourselves in the Revda district after your interesting conversations with the Lord Protector, and you set out into the hustle and bustle of the city proper. The sky seems to be somewhat tainted, as if discolored by smoke. The call has been given to aid in the defense of a secondary city, if you are so inclined, to go out and try to assist the Master Guard, as he is called, in defending one of the, how would you put it, fiefdoms of the main township, or, well,
Oh.
cityscape.
Well,
Uh,
I've been given a job, so darn.
Quick question, Puffin.
Yes.
How much does it pay?
Well,
that is the question, though.
one of the things is that many property owners and people have died within the fiefdom of Intadon. Um, so the way they're doing it is they don't have money to support something outside of the war effort. And they literally have dragons fighting in the city. So it's if you come to the city and you are able to be like, oh, hey, there's this business and no one's in here, but we killed all the monsters inside, you can take claim of that building. That's your building now. Because everyone else that owned it is dead.
Oh, okay.
If it doesn't get burnt down.
Yes. So in exchange for your assistance, you can basically squatters' rights anything that you find.
I created
Oh yeah,
a banner head
I'm
for
going.
us, by the way. You guys can look at it.
Neat.
Oh, let me look at it.
It looks like a bear.
No,
What? No, that's not a bear.
no.
I
Well,
see
whenever I
a
scrolled
picture of
over it,
all the group.
it's just a
Yeah,
bear.
it's our characters that are alive now. We don't know how long it'll last.
Why am I in the center?
Because you
You're the
are
center of
the
everything.
you are the heart of the group,
Yes.
lady.
Well, I just put my characters together over here because they are a team. I put the criminals over on that side, and well, you just ended up in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah. They are criminals.
They are.
And most likely will remain criminals. Okay.
What? We're reformed now. That's why I'm wearing the necklace.
Is that what that means?
Yeah, that's what that
Off the roll.
means.
You know the
Um,
truth, though.
I did have a question though, because I was going around cleaning stuff up. Before you get into it too deep, I did have a question for you.
Yes.
I have all the characters set up and stuff like that, but I have to write some stuff down here. Let me get my
Mhm.
pencil. I actually have one of those pencils that you sharpen in a little hand push machine.
Oh, I love those.
Wow.
I had those
Not
all
the
the
kind
time
you
when I
take a
started as a
knife
kid.
and
Oh, you
slice
can
off the
whittle it
wool.
too. Yeah, you can definitely do that too. Let me get my book here so I can do it later. All right. So before you get going, I have questions. All right.
Yeah,
Here's
I have
my
answers.
questions. All right. So this lady here, the Lord Protector. Now, is she the Lord Protector or the Lord's Protector?
Lord Protector.
Okay, so I got it right. Of Intidon. And what's her actual name?
Um, Savannah.
Savannah. Not Savannah, Savannah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Savannah. So let me put the umlaut here. All right, fine.
Annika.
Savannah. All right, and her name's Savannah, and she's what kind of dragon?
A bronze dragon.
She's bronze. Okay. And I'm assuming because she is married to a human king, right?
Um, she is in fact married to a human king.
All right, and so therefore she has his name now. What's her last name?
Um, I believe I made his last name Exarch.
Exarch or Exarch? I'm going with the
Exarch.
egg. I'm going with the egg.
Yep,
EGG.
Exarch.
Can you spell it?
It's
Sure,
just
of course I could. Of
basically
course I can.
Well, okay, I'm
E
just gonna spell it
G.
egg
I
arc.
am. I spell it EGGZARCH. Exarch.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
pretty much what it
that's
is.
perfect. All
Cool.
right, so very good. So her name is Savannah Exarch, and she's a bronze dragon. And these are her things. This is her family. What is this? Is the dad, right? The human dad,
I'm in the middle.
the King
Hmm.
Exarch. What's his? So she's a queen then.
Hmm. But
This is a
as
very
a
dangerous path you're going, Puffin. Just letting you know.
mhm.
Okay.
He's planning to take over and rule.
No, I'm just doing it for I like labeling shit. All right, go ahead. What's his name?
And so the king's name is basically Roland.
Okay, Roland Exarch,
Mm-hmm.
and I will drop the double G.
Ha!
I'm sticking with it.
Is he the fourth? He's the fourth.
Sure, he can be.
He's the fourth.
He's
I
the
feel he's
fourth?
the fourth. Yeah. Okay.
Wrong.
And what is the son's name? The prince?
Vester.
Let's see. He's human, so we'll get this.
Or was he? I thought he
No,
was.
he's half dragon.
Yeah, he's half dragon. Both of the children
They
are
both
half
are.
dragon.
Yeah. Prince Vester.
Yep, like your name with a V.
Yeah, but with like my name, or is it an OR instead of the classical OR? Basically, it's classical OR. I'll go the
Yeah,
OR.
it's an OR.
Okay. Vester Exarch. Very
Mhm.
nice. And does he like Daddy?
He's his father's son. He was raised more like a human, whereas the daughter was raised more like a dragon.
Well, who cares about daughters? I mean, honestly. All right, so let's see here. Prince.
Your first kid is going to slap you
Well,
bareheaded.
see, I mean, it makes sense. He's over in Asia, where that type of thing is,
That's fair. That's
Okay.
true. What's the princess's name?
Selena.
Is she as much a whore as the other Selena?
No,
Oh, good. Okay.
not as much as Catwoman. She is pretty much the opposite, I believe.
I was talking about Gomez. Okay.
Oh,
But they both work. All right. Next thing. I don't know if it's going to be a thing, but these guys.
mm-hmm. Yeah, the cult.
I put them in here because you gave them to me. This cult.
Mhm.
What are they called?
They are basically called the Cult of the Brew.
The cult of
But aren't
the brew, as in beer.
Mm-hmm. Because they're followers of the same deity that our tower
Okay.
is, the god of forest, pestilence, and
Okay.
fruit and beer.
but I thought they were more on the pestilence side of thing.
And
Oh, they are.
I understand that, but what's that entity that was inside of tower?
Oh, the ancient, well, basically he's the ancient right now. He is
I thought he had a name.
Oh, well, yeah, Tower named him, but I hadn't thought of an official name for him.
Oh, okay.
The entity went along with it because it was easier than trying to describe his ineffable name to him.
Ooh,
And so,
big word. Okay.
but the
and
entity basically has infected all these people because he's a living extension of the deity's wrath. He's a living pestilence, and one of the side effects is it turns your hair red.
yeah, well,
To
I
show
got
that
that.
you're integrated.
But these guys right here, the one on the right and the one on the left are the two leader types, right?
Mhm.
Which one is the actual boss?
To the right,
So this one on the
the
right.
Grand Matron.
Okay, so we got one and two. So the number two is the Grand Matron.
Mm-hmm.
And does she have a name?
Callista.
Huh?
Callista.
Go with I'll go classical. Okay.
Yes. And assume that most of the name pronunciations I'm assuming classical.
Yeah,
because I
no,
probably
it's
don't know it.
fantasy, so I'm just going classical. And
Mhm.
the other ones I'll just name myself, unless
That's
you
Hey,
fine.
have a name.
Dave. How are
Uh,
you?
because I need her name. And what's the number two here, which is in number
Uh,
one position?
Selna.
And what is her rank?
Selna. She is basically like clergy. You have basically initiates, clergy, and then the leader.
So what is she? The high priestess?
Yeah, so she's kind of like the high priestess. She reports to the grand matron, and then the initiates and the workers report to her.
I will call her Arafont.
All right, works for me.
Okay. And her name was what?
Selna.
Selna.
Selma Hyatt. I didn't say that.
That would be Selma. But then again, we don't need to confuse that with any kind of bridges. All right. That was a deep cut. No one caught it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything.
Or-
All right. I'm done. You can go ahead.
Say hi to David.
Hi, David.
Hey, David.
I'm
Thank you.
I did my part.
Okay,
sorry.
go ahead. I'm done.
I'm generating an image of the Lord of Doom.
Oh, nice.
Anyways, so basically, what's going to happen is you are. Well, who do I want to include in this? I usually pick on Tower, but Tower's not here, so I don't get to pick on him.
GOP.
What? No.
I
I
know
know
Pick
the last
on
thing he had.
me.
Oh yeah, I got me a natural 20. I'm gonna pick on GOP.
Is that how it works? Was I the natural 20 on the
You
roll?
are. Well, I've already
Yeah,
been given a job,
That's true.
yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm going to make some more coffee. I'll be back. You go ahead and torment.
Torturous.
Okay,
Torturous.
so
us.
as
right.
you are basically moving throughout, you are approached, GOP, as you are on parole by one of the initiates of the cult.
Okay. And I'm assuming
And
I was made aware of who these people were.
did Tower ever tell you? If
Uh,
not, then you don't
it
know.
was
Nope.
Tower, so I'm sure he probably told everyone.
I don't
Because
think he told you guys anything. I think he walked out when you asked. He just said, "I was just seeing some friends."
was he? I don't
Yeah.
remember. All right, whatever.
So he basically, one of the initiates shows up and says, "Greetings. I see that you are one of sufficient power to bear the necklace."
Um, just out of character, I would have since the necklace can basically look like anything I want. Could I make the necklace look like it's not even there?
You could make it look like clear beads, but that's about it. Just like it, people would see through it unless they actually
Okay,
looked at
fair
it.
enough. So I would have had it like that's probably how I would have had it, just because I don't want to advertise that I'm on parole. It's like
You
walking
can't
around
put
with
it
an
under
ankle
your
monitor.
clothes.
Probably
Can't do it.
could. How much can I mess with this thing? I don't even
You
know.
can mess with it, manipulate it. You just can't take it off.
Okay, fair enough. Well,
Make it look like a choker with spikes.
I won't advertise it, but I'm assuming that they noticed it still. So
Which
Probably
is
see
kind
the
of weird
magic orb.
because normal people wouldn't necessarily notice it. And then the person basically says, "Can I have a moment of your time? Would that be acceptable?"
I suppose.
Right this way, and they lead you to basically a cafe nearby. Nothing shady. They just sit down and present you with order you a cup of tea and basically say, it's very strange when the master encounters someone that is beyond his initial reach. We were wondering how you came to such power.
Oh, and who's his master you're talking about?
I believe your furry friend housed him for some time.
Oh, that explains the red hair.
Indeed, his mark goes before us to ensure that the Lord of Pestilence is with us.
So I suppose you didn't bring me here just to try the tea.
Oh no, we like to confront those that are directly, potentially opposed to us. We just want to know where you stand, if you can be bought, if you can be spoken to reasonably, or if you need to be eliminated.
Well,
Elimination. I'd go with that.
Or
well,
if
honestly,
you can
did
be
it seem like I
counted on.
really did it seem like I really cared before?
Oh
I
no.
didn't. But I simply don't carry the way about you. You're not of
Oh,
interest to me whatsoever.
wonderful, wonderful. Well, can you be hired, perhaps?
Depends on the job.
The mind breaker is quite pestilence to us. Although we worship it, we don't like interference. If he interferes, can you make sure that he doesn't?
It's a tough nut to crack if I were to go that direction.
Well, you don't have to crack him. He has a wonderful maiden he's become infatuated with. You crack her much easier.
Water can just teleport away. Just
Dude,
assuming.
It
just
does.
take the
It's
money,
not.
dude, because you know I don't give a shit.
Yeah, right?
It's not.
My character is just being logical, but it's like, well,
But
it'd be a dangerous job.
it's not instantaneous teleportation. She still has to cast the spell, and if it, were to be interrupted. But that's all putting the marbles that someone like him would actually care about the spreading of the Master and his will, and the fall of Interdon.
Well, one study is the same as any other to me. I really have no care for this place any more than any other place. So, let's just assuming that I were to take this job, how much would I actually be getting paid for it?
Well, it depends on if you were willing to. How long are you willing to be part of the game?
Well,
Are
I
you
mean,
just going to perform your task and want nothing left, or are you going to stick around if you think the job went well for future employment? Like, how long can we count on you?
well, is this... Are you trying to employ me for a long-term contract, or are you simply going to pay me for one job? There's a big difference there.
One job at a time, good sir. But if you are dependable, we will be returned customers.
Well, I'll keep that option open. But for now, I need to know how much.
2,000.
2,000. This is,
It's not bad.
I know it's not bad, but I'm gonna still bargain.
You should.
Yeah. You know, your friend is, or your master, has seen how he works. He's a pretty difficult person to kill.
Oh,
If
indeed.
I'm gonna stick my neck out, it has to be a little bit more than that. And I'm sure you've got the pockets for it, too. Can I do a persuade roll? Puffin.
Puffin.
Hello?
Did we lose him? We lost him.
Puffin!
He went the way of the dodo.
P. Diddy!
I
Did we,
found
did we
one
lose P. Diddy too?
somewhere.
Sausage, egg, and cheese McPuffin.
Mm, 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 mm. That was a good one. You should write
I'm
that
still
down.
here.
You should write
I
that
thought
down.
they found one more doodle, the bird. Sorry, I
Did they
couldn't say
found
it.
one more doo doo? I don't know.
It's
I
the
don't think
last
you,
of the doo-doos.
you don't have to look. You don't have to look hard to find the doo doos. I think.
David, I need help, please.
Hey, I didn't. You did it. Ooh, I got something
Oh,
called
wow.
sticky notes. Okay. Hmm.
At some
Did
point,
your assistant give you sticky notes?
I'm either going to make more than 2,000 or 2,000.
Mhm.
I mean, assuming I can do this particular job, which I might just not do it at all. Who knows? I
Ooh.
am kind of shady.
Well, you are shady. That's true. But you know you
But he's
got
not
money in the
showing.
bank because my character. You know my character doesn't give a shit. I'll be back.
Puffin.
Mr. Seaman.
Do do do
Oh,
do.
Heard something from
Oh,
you.
he's still there. He's there.
Life,
He's
life
alive.
comes. Well, I don't know for how much longer. I have to.
Well,
Dun,
We're
dun,
heading out at.
dun.
I have a. Like I messaged Chester. I'm actually leaving at. We're leaving the house at 3 in the morning to travel up to Maryland for a job that I have to do. So I might actually.
Well, the good news
Try.
is the game will be done well before that.
Well, no, I mean the thing is I have to sleep before then. I have to
I
pack
know.
before then. I have to get other things done before then.
Are you
I
having
So I'm
know.
trying to move this along quick.
aneurysms?
yes,
I'm
he
trying to
is.
move
We
this
all
along
are.
quickly. Yes.
Okay. I'm
So
gonna
you were trying
do.
to barter. I need you to roll.
Yes. Yes. Okay. That's my persuasion skill. That's 2d20 plus 10, but I can't really add the 10 to the initial thing. So, that would be a 27 to my barter roll.
With a 21, they are willing to not pay you more, but pay you more up front and less on the back end. So instead of just paying you 2,000 once the job is completed, they'll be like, look, why don't we just pay you 1,000 up front and 1,000 when the job's done?
Well, I suppose that won't hurt.
Good.
And I mean, as long as he, keeps his nose out of your business, then there won't even be an issue, anyways. So,
Mm, I have a feeling with what the master has planned, um, everyone will try to put their nose in his business.
well, consider myself bought. I hold out my hand.
They'll shake your hand. But you feel like something else is also shaking your hand as they shake your hand.
Well, I kind of know what's going on, anyways. I shouldn't even refer to it as their master. I'm talking to it directly, so. But I'm playing along to a degree. So, you know, your master, considering his affinity for pestilence. See, I work in poisons, but I don't really have some of the best options available to me right now. Is there any sort of poisons that you can get your hands on and that will perhaps knock uh, target or his lady friend out of the fight for a little while? Keep
Oh,
them
there
from,
are plenty of poisons that could do that. We can have a cash delivered to you. But the best poison that you can infect her with, and the person, is eating a steak and just takes the knife, cuts their thumb into a vial, is me. As they go into the more darker eldritch voice. You infect her, and then she will be mine, and all will come to pass as I have planned.
Hopefully. Of course, he might, our target might have a bit of he might notice things, but it's alright. It's all in due
He
time.
he will notice. There is no way to hide from one that is refined as mine, such a level.
But as long as he
But
can't get away, that's what matters.
oh, I don't care if he escapes. I only care that if he interferes. I merely mean to unify all life that is weak. He is strong. He does not need to be part of what I call.
Oh, okay, well, the whole point is if I were to go that far, it would be to eliminate a threat. Either way, if you give me the poison and if I have the opportunity, situation arises. Anyways, I'll take my first installment and then I'll be on my way.
The person just sets back coins, empty bag, and taps the side of it with their fork, and it just fills itself up with coins. There. And that should be acceptable.
I hope these don't disappear on me as I walk out. That'd be most unfortunate.
I'm sure you're going to disappear on us as soon as you walk out, so we'll just call it even.
Oh, ye of little faith. Well, ta-ta. and
Goodbye.
I take the bag and I walk out. Okay, that was my little excursion.
All right, lady.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Well, I heard that they need some help in this village on the edge of the city, so I thought I might mosey that way, see if someone needs some healing or something. I didn't see the thief around. I didn't see the dog boy around, so I'll let the mage know where I'm going. Not back by tonight, come and look for my corpse tomorrow.
What mage? Which mage?
You're a mage.
Oh, Bethany. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
As I go, I'm looking for a place to set up a home.
That's
So,
good. Good point. Yeah.
mhm. So there's a number of different places where you could potentially set up shop, but most of them aren't as nice as just renting a place.
I have a
And
place to
renting
grow a
around here is
garden.
pretty cheap.
Pretty cheap, huh?
hmm The
Okay.
renting situation of Dawn is usually a forced ownership, if that makes any sense. Basically, it's very cheap to live here. And so if you live there for a year, it's like dirt cheap. But it keeps increasing every year that you don't actually own property there. Until eventually, you're paying more a month than it would be to just buy a home. So you can probably, if you want to rent by month, it'd probably be only like 10 bucks for a month.
Find a place to rent, but still look for, somewhere on the outskirts of town. We gotta have a garden. Come
All
on.
right,
I'm a
so you're
herbalist.
able to easily find somewhere on the outskirts of town.
I'll note it somewhere and then go see what help is needed for the fight.
I
You
would
are
probably be heading that way too, after my conversation.
There was dragons down there fighting stuff up.
What do we know about the
Hmm,
enemy?
That's what I'm trying to
nothing
find out.
really.
Find the
The
master guard.
all you could go ask the lady, the Lord Protector, what
She's
the
a busy
actual.
person. I ain't gonna go ask her nothing. I'll go out and ask the men on the field.
All right, so you go to the soldiers who are training and are heading that way anyways. Um,
Okay.
how you just gonna flag one down? You're gonna be like, "Hey, you stop."
Um, Someone's like toward the tail end of the line, maybe, or maybe
Okay.
somebody on horseback.
They basically say, the city has. Well, what? Oh yeah, I was watching Chester's stream and then it disappeared. They we are going against the forces of Lord Athugwa.
He's the one attacking.
Yes, the Athugwas the indiscriminate and his and Malzar the ancient.
They're just names to me. What's the weakness?
Mauser the Ancient. The Ancient. Okay.
He could take the name to try to impress people, please.
They are rather gruesome creatures of the old fold, as they call them.
Yeah.
Things old heroes should have put in the ground long ago.
Who woke them back up? Oh, they haven't been put in the ground, huh?
Well, it's kind
I'm
of
not
hard.
really a hero, but I'm a support person.
I look by the look of it, were a redeemer. The redeemers were paramount in the recovery efforts after their initial transition into our world and the massive scars that were left.
She has been told about the history of that, right?
Basically, these creatures, these entities, were the origin of slavery in the world.
Okay.
It was them that came to our world and taught men how to enslave.
She nods.
For great is their hunger, but greater is their will of dominance.
So wait, we're gonna go and claim these places, but then the people that just got taken away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there goes my incentive to try and take these guys down. You know, just it's just you rescue the people, then they come back and take their stuff back, and then I don't get paid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the soldiers, if you find something that is there, and the people who were there are dead, then you can claim it. It's just don't
They're not taking slaves right now. Let's put it that way.
no. I mean, they're the soldiers that are captured are enslaved. No one has pretty much been killed whatsoever in this entire conflict, except us killing them. Every one of our own that they take down are incapacitated and wake up in chains. Any
All
body
right.
lost is a waste to them.
Okay. I'll go be backup for him or something.
All right, so you're all heading off, following the soldiers, and you encounter your first inkling of the creatures from this strange world.
I'm
I may be
stealthing,
running
by
the
the
other
way.
way.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Well,
stealthy.
you are stealthed, and it doesn't care about you. It's going to engage the soldiers and try to mess them up. Can I post it in general?
Yeah, go ahead.
A strange creature.
Just one of these creatures?
Just one. The group of
Probably
soldiers you're
something.
with, there's about 5 soldiers. Well, actually,
Okay.
more like 15 soldiers. And as they charge this thing, um, it turns to face them, and they're all like striking and hitting it, but none of them seem to actually be able to hurt it. Like their blades hit it, and like an ooze creature, or some kind of it's like hitting silly putty or clay. The swords and
Mhm.
the weapons, they make a dent in it, and then it just pops back out moments later.
So it's not an ethereal.
It's kind of in between material and ethereal. And so even its own strikes against the soldiers are easily dodged. But it's from wherever however many its hundreds of eyes on its head are, suddenly flashes with light, and 2 soldiers are literally cut in half by beams of light.
I'm gonna try to slip from the back of it,
Mm-hmm.
and since I got the +5 ring now, turn it on to
Okay.
use the the staff proper.
Okay.
I know it's not going to kill him or slice off his head because it's not a blade, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping to be able to knock him unconscious or something before he can be taken apart.
All right,
Okay,
roll it.
let's see. I'm gonna add up my hit. Let's see. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Plus attack as a level 8 plus 9 on a 20-sider.
So
One
you have
more.
your +5 base. There you go. So you have 5 plus. Let's see. So you have the
Oh no,
5 from the weapon.
5 for the
And then,
ring.
well, no, you have.
I
Sorry,
need
4
the
for
ring to wield the weapon. That's right.
So you need the ring to wield the weapon. The weapon was a +3. So with your 5 items and 3, so you have a +8 to your attack.
Okay.
So 1d20 plus 3.
6,
1d20
7, 8.
plus 8. Bleh.
Okay, one roll. It's a natural 19 plus 8 is 27.
All right, so a critical hit. Roll your 2d6 and take the highest.
One has cleared. I don't know why it hasn't cleared. 2d6.
All right, so you did 15 damage to it. You come down and basically swing and hit, and your blade sinks into it like the other swords and stuff that's been hitting this thing, and it just turns and looks at you
Dodge.
with a great amount of disappointment. Let's
Oh,
roll
well.
initiatives after this thing hits you. So it'll get its
Plus attack from behind. Hey.
Yeah, but
I keep hitting for the head too, trying to keep the eyes upwards where they can't zap me.
that's fine. It doesn't zap you, but its arm basically molds into its body and comes out of its back and punches you in the stomach.
That's interesting.
Because it's it's
Yeah. Let's do a void repertoire, whatever it's called.
void riposte. So roll your
Mhm.
d20 and hopefully with your plus. What do you get for void riposte? What's your bonus to
If you
that?
get 15, that's if you get 15 plus, reflect all damage that you take from the current attack on to the attacker.
Yeah, so it's just 1d20, and if you get a 15 or better, it activates. No modifier.
Please give me, come on, give me. Damn it!
Oh, bummer. So
Damn.
this thing politely looks at you. Oh, sorry, you did more than 15 damage. You did 18. So this one basically politely, since he didn't use a weapon, he just used his fist, he politely bonks you for 21 damage. Just wham!
I think the point of this is to show us that we can't do anything to these guys, and we shouldn't fight them. Because
Well, the thing is, like, you have all these other soldiers that are constantly hitting and striking. You just hit it
nothing
hard
that-
enough to where it aggroed, like in a raid of World of Warcraft. You aggroed the boss as a DPS.
Well, I'm just saying, if
Good job.
you have that many soldiers attacking, and
Okay, do
it
I
looks like
divide
nothing
this
is changing.
between the top and bottom? The 9 point of the 21 points of damage.
I mean, you can just split them any way you like.
Okay, so 21,
Because he was not going for anything generic. He was basically just stiff arming you.
4, 5, 6, 7,
But
8,
it
9.
shot out of his body like a bullet.
Yeah,
And the cool thing is, like his fist came out of the square center of his back, like between his shoulder blades, but then like his body kind of like melts and then adjusts itself to where the bones would be right if he had like turned and hit. It happened
Okay.
before the movement did.
Armor
basically.
is at 0 now, I think. If
So
it's absorbed X amount of money, X about, you got to repair, right? Yeah, backing it up, it goes shit.
So basically, he for theatrical purpose, I'm just going to say basically he swung and you blocked with the weapon, but the sheer impact basically shredded the arm, like blew your armor off. Just
She's
like
naked. No, she's got her underwear
no,
on.
she has her clothes on underneath, but it's just like boom, and she's like, well, just going
I
to
let
back away
myself
now.
fall back some.
I'll fall back some. The soldiers keep
Get out of the
fighting
range.
and swinging. It blasts one more dude, turning him to ash. But they all hit him a couple times in the area where you were striking, and then one of them pulls out. One of them yells "now," and they pull out a dagger, and they all stab him at the same time. And you hear basically a roar overhead, and see. Well, it seems to be like a young bronze dragon just unleash a torrent of fire down on this thing.
Yeah,
And
good thing I was backing up.
All the soldiers are now dead.
No, the soldiers are untouched by the flame.
Lucky them, I'm not. Good thing I was backing
Oh, you're
up.
outside of the range. When you said you backed
Okay.
up, it was basically a cone of fire.
Yeah.
Like a tornado of flame that comes down around this. It's aggroed to the daggers itself. They're the aiming device. Their whole thing was to get the daggers deep enough in the creature to where it couldn't just fling them out, so that the dragon could, nonchalantly just use its breath weapon in a specific area, and the daggers would focus it down on this specific point, so they don't light the forest on fire or any of the soldiers. So it's almost like the fire's coming out in this huge spread. It almost looks like a rose of flame, because the top that's coming out of the dragon's mouth is just this huge billow of fire, and then it weaves itself down into a very thin line of fire, almost like the stem of a rose, and just hits this thing and cooks it until it hardens.
Sorry, you're so bored, Puffin. I mean, Chester.
No, he invoked Seal. He invoked Seal. You don't do that.
Theo comes down from the heavens, is like, kiss from a rose on a grave.
Whatever that means.
So afterwards,
sounds pretty though.
It does.
The creature looks like this afterwards.
Gotta go look at it again.
It's still alive though.
Oh yeah, it's very much alive. It's just trapped inside its own skin. Its outer layer has been burnt, bonded to its body. So it's like a caramel surprise. It can't break out of the jawbreaker layer right now.
So everybody stopped attacking it, didn't they?
Yeah, it's petrified. Unless somebody comes along with a pickaxe and breaks through, it won't be able to escape. It's entombed within its own corpse.
So it's a dragon like take it away and fling it off somewhere, or
It just leaves it there. I mean, the material itself is as hard as iron, and it doesn't weather. So
so it's just a permanent hell for this thing. Cool.
unless one of its allies finds it and breaks it open.
I'm like talking out loud, like it's not dead, right? Or is it dead?
Oh,
Or can it be killed?
No, that's the thing, that they're not really able to be killed, but they can be entombed. That's one of the drawbacks of immortality, or of any similar form, is that the fates you must suffer are often worse than just dying.
That destroyed my armor, so I'm no good to you guys.
Oh, don't worry.
Oh no, you have value.
You have value.
I pop out from where I was hiding and like, so you're telling us that we have to go and fight these things that we can't even kill, and we're not getting paid.
Told you.
You'll get paid. You can keep what you loot. If there's treasure lying on the road, pick it up. It's yours now.
Wow. So generous.
This is why Pompey lost. Just remember.
Okay, so cool. I guess I'm just gonna avoid those things because I can't actually fight anyone. I guess I'm just gonna be scavenging.
I call him. Oh, I call his name and give him like using my fingers like come here and like help me type of thing. Trying to put my armor back on or something. Trying to get decent anyway.
Okay.
The soldiers.
I'm gonna go with him.
Will give you the soldiers have leaves like you do that repair armor, so your armor will repair 20 points.
Oh, that's more than I got. It's 14 anyway, so
then just give yourself the max.
Yep.
that
Yeah.
you can.
Yep. So the interesting part about this is that each one of them then pulls out a new dagger because that's how they fight these things. Is they are there to soak hits and plant the daggers so that the dragons can cook them into place.
How many daggers do you need into one of these things before you can actually kill it? Well,
Well, it's
relatively
really
speaking, take it down.
well. I mean, it's really how accurate you want the flames to be. You have to have at least you have to at least, I would imagine, one dagger, or else the flame is just going to. It's not going to be focused enough for the creature to be destroyed.
So I
And
need.
big corpses help. We could reanimate some of the guys that died.
Yeah, I mean, reanimating corpses would probably be helpful, although the entities we're fighting might turn them into slaves. We are fighting the sires of slavery, the lords of domination.
So does the
Sounds like a heavy
dragon
metal
know?
band.
Yeah, right. Well, look at the art of the thing melted. It looks like a mascot,
I tell GOP, let's do one more with them. I got an idea.
Pardon me. Do you have any spares?
They
Seems like you have a lot of them.
they hand you a couple of daggers.
And does the dragon does it know that these things are in one of these creatures? Is it like having like a homing thing or something? I don't know. Fantasy
magic
equivalent.
The
Yeah.
magic draws the dragon flame to them.
Okay, so if I'm out there and I encounter one of these things, if I manage to poke it and stick the dagger in, then the dragon will know and come and then hit it. I'm just trying to work out the logic in my head so I don't try and kill or
Once you stick the dagger, leave it
incapacitate.
there.
Well, yes,
There are a number of different half dragons, drakes, and other fire breathing creatures employed by the Lord Protector, constantly flying over the city, suffering blasts and other grueling attacks from the creatures. But if you stab one, the dragons will be able, with their superior sense of smell, to smell the harm you've inflicted and know to unleash their flame.
all right. And you said you gave me a couple of them or a few of them. How many?
Two.
Two. All right. I'll wield dual daggers then. Okay. I'm gonna have to get up close and personal.
I'm gonna let them do the major part of the attacking, getting still, and then I'm gonna come up from the back like I did last time. But this time I'm gonna use enemy blade. You create a plasma blade as a melee weapon. The blade applies one stack of hazards per damage, max of 1d8, no modifier. If you deal 4 plus, it deals environmental critical damage.
Oh, that might help melt the creature.
Yeah, I help melt creature. This is what I wanted to try before we slip off into the dark and go find some loot. Okay.
Okay. I'm down for anything, as long as I don't die.
I can reanimate you, so it's all right.
Back as a walking corpse.
We'll take you to the mine guy, see what he has to say.
Anyways, I look at the soldiers, shall we?
Onwards for the Lord Protector and the great city.
I go back into being stealthy. Just
All right. Meanwhile, Mr. Chester,
Yeah,
what you doing?
I am updating my stuff.
Money, I'm
Right.
making money, money.
I can show you. Let me put it back up. Where was I here? Oh yeah, here.
Up on fire.
Share again. I was just taking the information you gave me and putting it in place.
The funny
Plus,
thing is,
you guys are
Chester's
busy. Yeah,
Chester's probably the only one who could actually do anything to these things. Because he's
probably.
relying on physical attacks anyways. So
It's true. Where was I here? Oh yeah, that. No, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I got her all set up. I got them all set up. I got these guys all set up. I came up with some cool names.
That's cool.
Yes. I'm
What'd you do? Let me see.
I can't. It's hard to read that last one.
Seskov Yar.
She's like Yennefer from The Witcher.
Hmm. I especially like the brothers? Question. Kellican and Philadad Raz. Mm-hmm. Ooh.
The
So,
entity has a terrible time of beginning to merge DNA. So, for example, since he's infected so many different people and different genders, sometimes the DNA begins to swap and people will spontaneously be a different gender than they were.
oh, well, there you go. That explains it. But I just made them siblings. Why not?
Works for me. Yeah, why not?
Anyway, go
Also,
ahead.
GOP, you are suddenly stricken with something in your mind,
oh,
a vision of time immemorial.
he
It
gets
says
past my mental defenses.
hammer, don't hurt him.
No, it's not someone trying to impose something on you. It's like latent memory, if that makes any sense. You're basically able to see the history. You're able to see Lord Arsok in his first conquest of the world, Lord of the Black Ring, and the chains of domination.
My character just thinks about it for a second and just like, that's nice.
Mhm.
Anyways,
Yeah.
he's like, if any character just doesn't give a crap about any of these guys and is just trying to get what he wants out of it. It's
Yeah.
like evil things or evil people or evil creatures, and
This
they'll,
is why the trope of everyone meeting in the tavern exists.
Yeah.
Yep. Lord Arzok, Lord of the Black Ring, Keeper of the First Chains.
Doesn't tell me about
All
this,
right,
but
so I have the vision.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a reason why I'm having this vision, or am I just having a vision?
Once the vision subsides, um, you notice that it's a lot easier to hide from things. It's almost as if stuff isn't looking for you anymore.
It's
Oh,
this weird guy here, right? The bug-headed guy.
You see the one in the center with the black ring holding the sword
oh.
in the image in general?
Well, I'm showing a couple of images. Oh,
Let
this
me
guy. Oh, okay. I wasn't. Sorry. That guy.
yeah.
Okay.
Same.
see.
That
It
guy.
won't let me watch your stream anymore. What happened? Okay, I'm going to do it
Probably have
again.
it on a different browser.
Well, you should be in Discord. If you're not
I
in
am.
Discord, you're failing.
That's
Oh, I'm in
right.
Discord. It didn't update for some reason. Anyways, so continuing on.
I'm going to stick with the
So,
failure.
all right, that's fine. You'll give me whatever labels you
That
want.
is why you fail.
This is why you fail because you reject success. So, you, GOP, this is not something that's going to affect your like you and your character at any particular point. This is an optional thing. You now have a black ring in front of your forehead.
Like
Not that
a
you're really like a halo, just it's in front of your face.
that's weird, but okay. Uh, is it like the black ring on the dude's head?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
No,
Sure, that's
it's
not
not.
foreboding at all.
No.
All right, so I've got this ring. All right.
I spelled that wrong, but there. GM to player info.
Okay.
Explain it to him. Oh yeah, that would be Tower. Never mind.
Where is this? Oh, it's
All right, so I've got a black ring in front of my head. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you say was optional about it?
Basically, if you have it appear to other people or just to yourself.
Well, I'd rather just have it to myself. I'm not going to advertise that something weird is going on.
All right, well, it's just to you.
Okay, and what does it give me as a boost to my stealthiness?
Well, the creatures stop looking.
Oh, the
Looking.
creature. It specifically affects the creatures. All right, I
Yep.
gotcha.
So all the stuff like as you're approaching, there are these little things on the wall that are watching you. They're like little bugs. Not you in particular. They don't really notice you. But like everyone that's walking around there are these like bug spies that are watching. They'll fly and sometimes they'll coagulate together in a swarm, and the swarm will become one of those things, and the troop of soldiers will charge it, stab it, and fire rains from the sky and cooks it in place. Other times, the entire platoon is crushed because there's not a dragon overhead. They'll try like throwing oil on it and lighting them on fire, but it doesn't burn fast enough, and the creature will finish killing them before it finally like freezes in place. But as soon as that ring appears, you can you basically none of the creatures look at you. They don't even acknowledge your presence if they could sense you. They're completely apathetic.
This is convenient. Odd, but convenient. Okay, well, we're still traveling along then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this is, but, I'm going to take it as a blessing if I'm able to, be more stealthy with it. At least in my eyes, because I really, I don't know exactly what's going on kind of thing. I a little bit, but not really. So, it's just weird. Yeah. But anyways, they're not noticing me, so that's cool.
Too. And it seems like it's going to be a little bit between
All right.
fights.
So after having that little bit of information go through, lady, you notice that a number of these bugs are taking interest in you, and they fly away as a swarm as you begin to approach. It's almost like you would think birds in the air. And then, much like fish in the sea when a shark swims through a shoal, a drake, not a dragon, basically hits them with a blast of fire, and a lot of them like drop, and you have to. The soldiers hold up their shields above your head as like these crow-sized things just bounce off their shields, cooked, and hit the stone below.
Okay.
Let me give you an image. Let's see. And it's kind of
I
like as you're coming
understand.
up on the city,
It's
it kind
like
of
the
looks
the
like this.
bird, the story of the birds,
Yeah.
But the Bob died, the woman.
So we're not even in the city. We're just wandering on the path
Yeah.
to the city.
Yeah, you
So
can see
these
the
things are
city
just
in front.
these things are just chilling out on the road then,
Yep.
or
Watch it chilling out in the trees in the road, just watching for anybody coming. And then they try to fly off to alert and then get blasted.
Okay.
okay. Well, I mean, there's nothing to do but keep moving.
Look, too.
So, um,
Yeah, perception obviously, but they're all watching us, so we kind of know they're there.
Just wave at them. Go poke at them with a finger. I'm playing tower today. Sorry. Poke at them.
Okay.
so, while this is happening,
You want some
um,
hooch?
and you're approaching this town, the soldiers basically reach the forward camp, and there's lots of different holy symbols of the deity of light all around, and the creatures are some of them are trying to bash through the invisible barrier. But as soon as they walk into the camp and start doing things, they go almost completely transparent. Basically, what they could manifest in this world is completely rejected, and you just see almost like a hologram or a shadow of them being there. And you see the small bursts of flame and stuff of their attacks hitting the ground where they exist, but nothing happens here. So, like, some of it's almost comical as some of the creatures don't realize what's happened and they're trying to smash people and just kicking up clouds of dust around themselves, not realizing they're completely phasing through.
Okay then. So do we have any more episodes? Anything else eventful happen before we get to the city,
No.
town, or what have you? Okay.
No.
Nothing happens that's weird.
Well, that in itself is weird because that phase shield or whatever. But who cast that? What is that? I'm going to be curious and ask.
The clerics have cast it.
Only answer they got, huh? The clerics casted it. Okay.
Yep. Well, just let
And
me know when I.
basically, all the clerics have gotten together and
Casted sanctuary or something.
cast a ring of basically the three lords of light, the three light gods, and invoke their power.
Okay. Can my raven look like one of those creatures, or it looks like one of those creatures that was spying on us?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, it does.
Really? Okay. I'm afraid to send her off. She might get
And
abducted.
soon after you get into the ring, and you're like being curious and asking about stuff, you get the same vision that GOP had.
The guy coming through whatever portal the first time,
Oh
the
no,
first
just
chain.
the image of their world and
Yeah.
sire of the first chain, so with the first slaves.
Whose perspective was that?
You're basically like a dream perspective. You're there. You know that what's happening around you, but it's not like no one there notices you're around or anything. If that makes any sense, have you ever been in a dream and you're watching the dream play out almost like a movie, but you're standing there in the movie while it's happening?
You're a part of the movie.
Yeah.
That means
As
I've
the
seen
judge
this
behind
before.
Agzok passes judgment on these criminals of war, and the first chains go out as the first slaves are sentenced for their crimes.
This
Eternal
judge?
servitude.
What did these? Okay, I'm getting confused, but there's nothing I can do anyway but watch it.
Mm-hmm. You do know if you begin to push with your mind that these creatures were basically the butchers of hope is what they were called. There are particularly three um, very powerful suns that warm this dimension, because the entire dimension where Agzok comes from, Ogzark, and the others come from is pretty much the size of Saturn. And it's heated by three powerful gems that constantly orbit. It works nothing like their world's like a bowl. There's no space. Like the edge of their world is the edge of their dimension, the edge of their reality, and these three gems hover above it. Um, well, those gems have basically controllers down, like how would I put it? Basically, almost like a stick. They're like on a stick, and if you mess with the stick, you mess with the gem. And these guys basically broke the sticks so that they could no longer tend to the crystals to keep them. And so they were called the Butchers of Hope, because they basically doomed the world to one day suddenly be plunged into darkness with no hope of remedy.
Dummies. Of course, it's. Why did
So,
they do that then?
so Ogzak,
Because they're
Why did-
dummies.
the sire of slavery, was born. First enslaving those that deserved it, and then just going out to try to get as many workers and as much
He
work
got
as could be done until,
power hungry. Okay.
yeah. Then he slowly grew more and more power hungry, because he's like, look, I don't know how much time I have. I could have a billion years. I could have like 20 seconds. So we're going to get as much work done as we can. And it takes too many resources to make automatons and golems and stuff. Flesh is much easier to procure than metal and stone.
And these slaves are doing what? Taking over another dimension?
They're
Uh, they are wielding spark rock, which is basically flint. Their job is to smash flint against steel, to but they have the ability to save sparks. So basically, they have these special like pots, and they basically strike flint against steel. The sparks land in the pot, and the sparks stay lit as long as they're inside the pot. And they're basically spark collectors, so that one day, whenever everything goes out, they will be able to spread those sparks around and be able to see or have heat for things that they need.
so
Trying to save
they
themselves.
they could have invaded the world and just got firewood, but I guess
Mhm.
this is like permanent. I guess I don't know.
Well, firewood and wood withers and dies in their world. It doesn't, like, the nature. The deities don't really have any influence in that world. They don't they have no representation. They aren't a thing there. The closest thing to a deity would be the judge in the background, as you can see, with his hand holding out under that weird tree-looking, one of the withered, um, behind Agzok that gives him authority. Basically, those judges and Agzok himself are the closest thing to gods in that world. It's a king and the judges. That's it.
This is going to take someone smarter than me to figure this out. I'm going to take this information and try to get back to Chester's character.
Mm-hmm.
I got to drag him in here somehow, some way, don't I?
No,
That's all
you
good.
don't.
Yes, I do.
No,
David says I do.
I'm good.
He doesn't want to be a part of my reindeer games. So but the interesting thing that you find out, Celtic, is that you are you're a shamanesque type. You're a void walker. And the void you walk in happens to be the world of Axok. Meaning that he is your if this would D&D, your sire would, or the person you draw your spells from, would be Axok himself.
So I shouldn't be fighting these creatures then.
Well, that's why
Yeah.
whenever the thing hit you, it didn't try to hit you again or show any, but it continued. That's why it looked disappointed because you are but maybe you didn't realize that because void walkers just know they pull from the void. They don't know which void they pull from. But once you
Yeah.
get in there and you basically have this vision, you have a black ring that appears in front of your chest. It's invisible, of course. But
Oh, I can reach up my hand past through it, huh? Okay.
Mhm.
No one else sees it, so I go.
Nope. But once this manifests, the creatures that were fluttering around and very interested in you are completely apathetic. They don't care you're there whatsoever.
Cool. Well, I guess I'll make it a lot easier for both of us then.
Yeah, gonna go look for loot then.
All right, so both of you go out looting. You just walk past these things. They completely ignore you. They
Make
if
sure I don't get
anything,
burned by the dragons.
Imagine you and me and you, and we're like frolicking through like the burning buildings or whatever, just
No, we're
picking up
not. We won't do
picking up
that.
pieces of gold and flipping them up in the air, just
Oh, look,
high
it's the
fiving
bank.
each other. Yeah, walk
Perfect.
into the
Store.
mall. It's like this is easy, easiest money I ever made.
and
But if they
that's
come and destroy this town, then
Well, they're not really destroying anything. They're just like abducting people.
yep. So
well, I'm talking
you've
about the
made
major town.
14. Basically, you've made $140 so far. If we're using real world money equivalent.
Well, I need to write down a number in gold.
Well, chets. You have
Actually, it's
100,
not
Chets.
gold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chets.
140 chets.
Okay.
That's just what you've looted from dead people or wounded people. They're like, "Oh, help me, please!" And you're like, "Oh, money? Yeah, I'll take some money." Hey guys, you missed one. Then they'll come over and put him in chains and walk away. Hey, this guy's not here. I get his stuff, and you'll just you can go down and rat people out. You see some people hiding. Hey, they're over here. What? No, no. And they'll
Wait,
chain them
lady,
up.
you would do that too? I know I would probably do something like that, but you would?
I don't know if I would do that. People from this dimension,
Yeah,
I'd
like
probably
just the
try to.
normal
I'd probably
people.
try to get them away from there. I mean, try to lead them away from the bad stuff.
I mean, we do have the daggers, but
Yeah, don't
I,
stab yourself with it. Okay?
I'm not getting paid to. I mean, I'm really just told just like if I come here, I can just loot. So I just don't know unless there's someone here who's like gonna make me, actually do something about any of this problem. Yeah, right now, I mean, it doesn't make any sense for me to like risk my life to
Yeah,
go
I
fight
won't
these
rat
things.
people out, unlike him. So,
I mean, my character probably wouldn't go that straightforward. He's just taking stuff that he
especially if they're
finds.
kids, I don't want to see kids imprisoned as
Huh.
slaves.
Your character should be good. My character's the one who's morally
Dubious.
yeah.
What's that all about, Chester?
That's a nice way to put it.
Be dragging 10 kids back to Chester's house. Okay, here you
Well,
go.
Chester, you can't judge us because you're not even there.
I'm not here, and I have no opinion. This is true.
So, my character is just going from nice looking building to nice looking building, and ooh, look at this safe, and picking up what he can. Any nice valuables? Oh yeah, he can crack a safe.
Roll
His whole thing is being a thief. That's his bread and butter. course you can
roll a
crack a
safe
safe.
crack for me.
All right. I don't even know what that would be.
Do we
Let's-
know when they think they'll have enough slaves that they'll leave?
Oh, they'll just take as many as they can. Once the population's gone, they will. They'll leave.
Would that be what? Maybe subterfuge?
Mm-hmm. Like
Okay.
subterfuge.
Well,
And
Well, somebody
something
needs to
like
put
that.
a whisper ear in an ear of a spellcaster about maybe they should make them
30,
all
20
believe that. Yeah, I got a reason to go find Chester now.
27 again.
All right, so you were able to pop the lock on this safe, and inside you find a human head, very much missing its
Does it
skin,
talk?
just a skull. You know what? Just for that, yeah, it does talk. Hey, can you close that door and try and get some sleep in here?
That's a magic skull. Tell you what,
No,
friend.
I'm not a magic skull. I'm a lich. Now close the door.
Oh,
Hmm.
definitely close the door.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is there anything else in there valuable I can just grab as I close the door?
Yeah, there's like a gem on his forehead.
Take that. Hey,
Should I? No,
bye.
I die. Oh, but it'd be funny though. No, I'm just gonna shut it because I roll really high, but I don't get anything. Okay.
You do
Cool.
get something as you close the door. He says, "Thank you, very sporting of you." And two little leaves flow out from as the door slams shut. Two little enchanted like leaf spells fly out for you.
All right. What are they?
One is portal, so that you can teleport yourself, and the second one is that riposte ability that lady has.
You gotta roll 15 plus in order to send
Okay.
damage to the person who sent it to you. That's a hard way to kill somebody, though, isn't it? Depending on what their damage is, I guess.
Portal.
So, with that, I actually will. Unfortunately, I'm trying to cram as much as I can because unfortunately, I have to go in a few minutes to get ready for the trip.
All right, man.
But
No
We'll
worries.
get to Chester then.
so we'll just do a follow up with Chester. Mr. Chester, someone walks into your shop and wants to speak with Bethany. Ding ding.
Yeah, okay. She's got a business. She's running it, so go ahead.
Hello, miss. I have a question. Do you have anything for sleep aids potentially? I'm hearing voices when I'm trying to rest, and it's quite disturbing.
I'd assume she does.
Hey,
She's
thank
an
you.
apothecary after all.
Yeah, so she'll give the stuff. He'll the man will pay for it, and he's like, I am quite worried though.
Oh, not there.
The
Never mind.
voices get louder and louder.
Well, then you should speak to my man.
Beat that man.
And then she the mailman's like, sure. Who is this? Excuse me?
She calls out. He comes walking in the room.
Hello, sir.
What am I getting off of him?
He's suffering from something. You're
Same thing
not.
the piss wolf was.
Yep. As you kind of get closer and you get off him, you're like, well, hello. It's been a while.
Oh, he says to me. I said, "Yeah.
Not the old
What is it?
man.
Well, I understand the entity. I say, yeah. What do you want?
Oh, I'm just touching base with those that potentially have something outside of my interest involved and was wondering if we could come to a business arrangement as I slowly spread unity throughout this city.
Yeah. Well, good luck with the dragons and all.
Oh, they can't be. They are much harder to convince than others.
Yeah, I mean, that's my point. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, anyway, what is it you want?
Oh, I was just wondering if I could purchase your services.
In regards to?
Oh, I am seeking to etch out my own place. You know, the whole big castle, dark kingdom, all that stuff. You know, but I've tried so many times, and you know, it's just I found that paying people is a lot easier than.
You know,
Well, there's a big dark castle right down the road.
It's true.
It's true. And other than that, which that would probably be kind of a pain in the butt because that's literally an ancient dragon. There's another place to the north, quite a bit to the north, but it's right on the coast, and that doesn't have any dragons at all. Big old city full of people, just the kind you like. Wouldn't that be easier?
Yes, it would be, but I do enjoy a challenge.
Then I'd say down the road, that big old dark castle's a challenge for you.
Oh yes, like I don't know. There's a black dragon.
I already told you there was.
Yes.
I wish you would just kind of get to the point.
Yeah. Okay. The point is, can I hire you to assist me in my expansion of domination?
You want me to help you take over Interdon? Why would I do that?
Why wouldn't you do that?
But
Because it's doesn't serve my purpose.
What is your purpose?
To be happy and at peace.
Who wants to be happy and at peace?
Normal people, you freak.
What's good at being normal?
uh,
It's quite boring, actually. After it gets old after the first couple hundred years.
Oh, whatever. You do what you're going to do. I'm not interested. Leave me the fuck out of it.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
I'm surprised he didn't make the argument of like, if everyone is me, then it'll be nothing but peace. There'll be no
Yeah.
conflicts at all.
Yeah. No,
That's what
I
I was
mean,
expecting.
but Zab doesn't care. He really doesn't care. He's quite irrelevant. He's got his little thing, and that's all he's focused on. He just leave him out of it. I'm sure
All
this
right, wonderful.
entity has the ability to read his mind. I mean, he's not that powerful. So his legitimate thoughts is just leave him the hell out of it.
Wonderful. I will leave you be then, sir. Consider your property your own. Good day to you.
Yeah.
The old man's like, hey, the thank you,
Thanks.
sir. The whispers are gone.
No, well, I'm glad I could help.
If any party, if any group needed like a paladin like character,
We're
this one
doomed.
probably did. Yeah, like
We're doomed.
you know,
We're doomed. Yeah, we're doomed. Yeah.
it's like we have the opposite problem.
hmm
There's just
There
nobody
is
really.
no one
Yeah,
cares. Yeah. And we just need to have some unity. That's why I mentioned the tavern thing, but that's okay.
Hmm.
It's something different. It's different than we normally
You
do.
don't have a tavern for us to go to.
Yeah,
That's the
well,
problem.
I am when Puffin's done, I am going to
Hmm.
run a fantasy. My plan was, well, I don't know though. We were talking about doing superhero, weren't we?
Yes.
true. And I've got a great character in mind too. So
Yeah, no, here, but whenever that is, I mean, there's no rush. You do what you're
Oh,
doing, Puffin.
okay.
yeah,
But
Okay.
We got plenty of time. But when I do the superhero thing, um, it is going to be superhero, and this is something that you can do, Puffin.
Mhm.
You can't do it now, but
Okay.
you could have done.
Right.
Is insist upon certain things. You are literally the GM,
Mhm.
right? And when I do that superhero game, you will be superheroes or you won't play.
Mhm.
You
You
see?
can't be villain.
No, you can't. You got to be a superhero. You're going to be a hero.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And I'm
Well,
going to fix Tower. I'm going to fix him. I'm going to iron him out.
Yeah, yeah.
considering that he's playing a beast character, saying you're gonna fix Tower has a very different implication. But yeah.
Fair. That's fair. Fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Price is Right
Uh,
comes to mind. Oh, Bob
yeah.
Barker.
That
Staying
should
new to
be
your
the
animals. Cut their dicks off. Every
Oh
damn week,
man.
he would say, Jesus,
Yeah.
Jesus, Bob.
somebody was just a fan of Rocky Mountain oysters.
But
That's all.
that's true. But he did kill him some Adam Sandler, though. So he gets extra
But
bonus
I
Uh,
credit.
I will I will say that the character I have in mind for that superhero game, he's a reformed villain. So he's a good guy now. Like he's genuinely a good guy now.
No, that's fine.
But you know,
I had way back in when I was really young, we used to play Marvel superhero role playing game all the time, right?
yeah.
From TSR, one of the best games ever made, by the way. And that in that game, one of my favorite characters I played over many years. Of course, so we played a lot of characters. Was a character I called Le Forge. He was a Quebecan, which was already a problem, but
true.
he was one of those accidental
A
villains.
Quebecois.
Yeah, Quebecois or Canuck, as we Americans call him. But
Yep.
he had was trying to actually be a good guy, but his power got away from him, and he blew the roof off a building, killing several dozen people. So he spent time in prison, rightfully so. So he was a reformed accidental villain. It's actually quite a bit of fun to play that kind of character.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I guess.
So I guess a lot of times whenever I run, I'm not insistent enough because,
You need to be.
but
Yeah, you have to
I
be
will be.
concise.
So
Yeah.
the insistent thing that I will be doing soon is that all of you are going to be meeting up in rather short order.
Yeah, you should
And,
just do that. Yeah, just make it
and
happen.
so,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it is. The black ring is going to affect the mind breaker as well as the first time that his mind is actually broken. And all of you will basically be together in that city,
hmm
in the
Well,
house of Orsted.
right, but here's another problem that you're running into, Puffin. You
Hmm.
have to be very careful as a GM
Hmm.
in making your character the characters have stuff.
Hmm.
You've done this several times. You have this or that happened to you or this. You really can't. You really shouldn't take away the agency of your players. It's very important you not do that,
Hmm.
because there becomes no motivation. They lose their ambition for the character. Like
And that's why I guess
you didn't. I mean, like for instance, I should have just insisted, but back when we were doing the thing with the mermaid, the
Mhm.
siren who was attacking us and I was attacking back. It's because you left it be so vague. Oh, her power accidentally hurt people. It's not really her fault. Of course, it's her fault, right?
Mhm.
But when everyone was dying and Bethany had someone to choose, you absolutely should have took GOP's sister because she's a
Mhm.
new player, never played it before, and you instantly killed her character. Dude, you ripped
Mhm.
all the agency out of her, and you might have dissuaded her from ever playing again.
True.
I mean, this is
True.
a
Well,
responsibility of a
yeah.
GM, dude.
Oh, yeah. That's true. But I think I know where this is going. So, let's just do this. That
We off the air now?
I
No.
No, we're
understand
not.
when.
Okay.
Let's see here. Just do that. There we go. That and we are all set. Some things to think
Cool.
about. I appreciate um, all the input. This is the fourth and fifth time that I've been reminded of my failing, and I'm sorry for that. But I guess I'm just not ready to continue then.
Well, that
Or
you can do that if you want, but you shouldn't be so sensitive.
Well, I mean, it's just, when things are, continually brought up, in repeat. This is like, the third, fourth week. But yeah, you're right. You're right. You are 100% right. Continuing on. That's all I had really prepared, is trying to get everyone together to um, take care of the city. And so making sure to get tie the loose end with the cult out of the way, which it is now. So with that, I do have to prepare for my trip. I very much appreciate everyone being here. Thank you again, Chester, for letting me run today, but unfortunately, I only had that much prepared
Yeah, that's fine.
today.
That's fine.
Well, travel
Uh,
safely, Puffin.
yeah,
Thank you.
man. Have a good trip.
All
I
right,
will.
everybody. Thank you very much for dropping in today. Come back next week. Of course, coming here on Friday for you guys. I know Thursday for you guys. We have Drone Recorder Ultimate Edition. I think we're doing an indie off of Fund My Comic again, which is awesome. Come back and support that. That's really a lot of fun. Really happy with what Luke is doing with that project, and we want to support it as much as we can. And you should too. Being as we're all part of the indie comic thing over here. This aside, with this is just fun to do kind of role playing stuff we enjoy, but we are part of the indie comic movement with this channel and all of our viewers, of course. So what Luke is doing and Pixel and those other guys that are doing their various things are really, really beneficial to indie comics. And that's something we all should be supporting. So come back for that. Check it out. And of course, on Sunday, we have Night Owls, as usual, where we're talking about the inanity of Hollywood, which is always fun. Nevertheless, thank you all very much, and we will see you next time. Later.
Good night.
Good evening.
Good night.